What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Sexy Food Times with Sid and Ed. I'm your host, Sid.
And I'm Ed. And the restaurant that we will be reviewing today is Gen Korean Barbecue, located in Mira Mesa. It is located in a plaza in the Mira Mesa Market Center on 10765 Westview Parkway. Alright, so this is a Korean barbecue house where the food is served uncooked and you grill your own meat. They offer different types of meat, different types of cuts, and various side dishes. This location has been open for only a few months, since around May, and they're generally open from like 11:30 to 12 a.m.
So once you walk inside, Jen, it's a little bit dark in there. Like the lighting is pretty dim, but there's a lot of blue lights and like neon lights. It kind of gives this feel of like a club, so it kind of makes it seem a little bit more modern, like the atmosphere. And then when you walk into, you can also hear house music, EDM, hip hop. A lot of the music that the younger crowd really listens to. I feel like the aesthetic and the design of the interior of the restaurant caters to the younger population from 21 years to 30 years.
So each table and booth has their own overhead spotlight. This allows the food to be directly under the light, being the main focus of the table. And they also have, within the table, they have the vents in there, so it's not like a typical normal Korean barbecue restaurant where they have the overhead vents, so the vents are right by the grills. You smell a little bit less stinky afterwards.
And the one thing you'll notice too about the restaurant is that it seems that the management or whoever runs the restaurant wants the restaurant to be very neat and organized. The hostess stand is very neat. They have a full iPad of wait lists, and then all the employees too, they're also in a strict black uniform, all black collared shirt, black dress shoes, black dress pants. You can definitely tell that they have a policy that they want to follow. And also the staff, they're generally young. Most of the servers there were about, I would say, in their 20s, about college students, except for management. Obviously, they're a little bit older, maybe about 30s.
So since this is a Korean barbecue joint, it's an all-you-can-eat restaurant. It's also sit down, and however, there is a 2-hour time limit for eating there. So you gotta make sure you order as much meat as you can while you're eating there.
But one of the things that they don't really say, but it is on the menu, is that you can order as much as you want because it is all you can eat. But at the same time, you don't want to have too many leftovers because they do charge for leftovers, especially wasted food. So always be conscious about how much you're ordering, and make sure that when you order, you're ordering enough to eat, not so much where you can't even eat it.
Yeah, and there is a wide variety of meat you can choose from, such as beef, pork, chicken, shrimp. They have so many choices of different cuts of meat as well. Like any other typical Korean barbecue restaurant, you begin with the side dishes. What I like about this restaurant is that when you're already seated at the table, there's already the side dishes for you, so you don't have to wave down the server and catch their attention.
So when you order at Jen, there's a 4-item limit per round. So it's kind of a precautionary to prevent people from over ordering. But one of the great items to really get there is the thinly sliced brisket. It's probably a staple in all Korean barbecue places. It tastes really good with their dipping sauce. What makes it different from other Korean barbecue places is that the meat tastes a little bit more, tender, more. It's not as chewy as other places, because some places has the cut is too much fat, so not a lot of people like the fat and the chewiness.
So another item that we typically like to choose at Gen Korean Barbecue is the top sirloin steak, and yes, they really give you a piece of sirloin steak, a pretty good size. You might wonder how you're gonna share it. They actually give you some scissors and some tongs to cut it up into little bite-sized pieces. You can dip it in the salt, the sesame oil, or hot sauce, or even just a regular brisket sauce. It's good with anything. I usually like to wrap the meat in the rice paper. It's a thin sheet of rice, and it's very gelatinous. Just pairs really good with the meat. So we don't have enough time to go through all the other meat options that are on the menu, but here's a list of some of our favorite meat choices. Definitely try all of them. You definitely have time, and go with a lot of people so you can try to get as much as different variety of meats from the menu.
Gen Korean Barbecue also has a great selection of beverages. They have a full service bar with a bartender, and they have a lot of choices for alcohol. But what is very famous at Korean barbecue places is soju, and soju is it's like a distilled light alcohol that a lot of Koreans drink, and a lot of them mix it with flavorings. And what's great about Jen is that they have a lot of choices of flavors, so you can choose from like strawberry, peach, passion fruit, even like green apple. The list goes on. So when we went to Jen recently, what we ordered was like a tower. Usually it would be a tower of beer, but one of the specials that they have at Jen is that it's a tower of beer, but they also mix flavored soju in the tower, so it's like kind of a 2-in-1 package. The sweet taste of the soju really refreshes and cleans the palate while you're eating so much meat, you know, the saltiness. So it definitely pairs well with the meat. What we also noticed too while eating at Jen was that most of the tables are set up for, you know, bigger parties, like, you know, 6 to like even up to like 20 people. I mean, you definitely see people that are only there, you know, couples, but I feel like the way that they set up the restaurant is catering towards bigger parties of like 6, you know, people who want to go out like after work, or like, you know, friend's birthday party, or just get together.
So as far as demographics go, the crowd here at Jen Korean Barbecue is pretty diverse, ranging from older people to a lot of young people. A lot of the crowd is also majority Asian, mainly because this is a Asian restaurant, so you typically see a lot of Asian people here.
One thing that we also noticed too is that when you're eating at Jen, that there are a lot of, I guess, you know, the younger crowd, they're very into, you know, social media, streetwear and fashion, and, you know, just technology in general. So one thing that happened when we were eating at Jen actually was that I was wearing, you know, this Supreme shirt or whatever, and then my server kind of came up to me, so we started talking about it, and then we just had a good conversation about it, and then it kind of made me feel like I trusted my server more because it was so personable. So when he was trying to upsell me alcohol, or like, you know, suggesting things I should try, I was definitely, I guess, more trustworthy of him. We ended up buying a lot of alcohol, so I mean, he definitely did his job.
Really good. So before we review any restaurant, we always gotta check Yelp. Definitely a reliable source to see if this is a good restaurant to go to. And from the consensus of Yelp, this restaurant was rated 4 out of 5 stars. So I guess you could say that it's a pretty popular restaurant. Has good service, good food.
And a lot of other reviews were talking about how like there's so many meat choices that some of them felt kind of overwhelmed. So that might be a bad thing, especially if you're, you know, looking for like a very simple menu where you want to choose from a, you know, long list of items. So it's really, I guess, very subjective to the customer.
After reading all the Yelp reviews before going to the restaurant, we had very high expectations of this place because a lot of people had really good reviews about it, talked about the meat, talked about the service. So we wanted to see how great they were. And after our experience, we definitely had great food, great service. The servers were very attentive to us. They always came back checking on if we needed anything, if we needed to order more meat, more sides, more drinks. So it's very nice that they always checked up on us. So this experience was definitely met our expectations.
Probably even exceeded it. So one of the things that we really like to analyze on Sexy Food Times with Ed and Sid is rhetoric, and how servers in the restaurant use that rhetoric and how successful they are at it. So specifically at Jen, you know, they want to use rhetoric. They want to be able to persuade their customers, you know, to buy, you know, alcohol or try different meats, and just trying to create a comfortable environment, because if the customer feels comfortable and they seem satisfied, they'll be obligated, or like they won't feel obligated, but they'll feel the need to tip more because of the service.
Yeah, and I can definitely attest to that because during our experience, I would ask the waiter like what their favorite meat was, or like what their favorite alcohol was, and they definitely suggested some great pork belly options, like the spicy garlic and the spicy one, both really great tasting meat. And even for like alcohol, like they know their alcohol.
Yeah, you know, we're all just trying alcohol, so you know, it's good to be able to talk to someone who, you know, knows a lot about the alcohol that they sell, you know, rather than going to a restaurant and then, you know, they have no idea what they're selling. Mm-hmm. Like these people at Jen, they really know what they're selling, and they use that to like really create a relationship with you so that you can trust them. That's their main like tactic. They really want to appeal to your emotions. They really want to just make it seem like you guys are friends. And that's what's really great about this restaurant. The way that they interact with customers is very, very efficient.
Stay tuned for another vlog reviewing a rival Korean barbecue restaurant. It's also located here in Kearney Mesa. It's going to be Kogi Korean Barbecue. And so don't forget to give us a thumbs up. Comment down below if you want to see more videos. And don't forget to subscribe.
This is Sid.
This is Ed.
Stay sexy, America.